Ian, with also looking at your forehead, but now I see what you just grabbed. You have Han Solo's son's tool that he
Good
likes
old
to
Ben.
use. Good. That is Kylo Ren's actual lightsaber. Ian has a real one.
I bought it.
He got the crystal.
And I paid it. I only have to pay $400 a month.
Yeah, he only has to replace the crystal once a year. Goes to Michael's or Home Depot.
Not even gonna get into kyber crystals with you.
Okay.
So just so you all know, unlike Aaron's, this is what it sounds like. So that's important. I just wanted you all to know that I have a lightsaber. You can't come and take it from me because I'll beat you up.
And a sword.
I got that. That's from Thailand.
No one can see what we're talking about. All right, moving on. So I think that's a perfect bridge to let's enter our nerdverse.
Bringing into the nerdverse, nerd musings. I wanted to call it the segment Nerd Musings, but then I saw you in our show notes. You wrote "Enter the Nerdverse." I kind of like that better.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And we're entering the nerdverse. Cue Aaron's sound effects when he edits for 35 minutes. Give me that. Nerdverse, here we go. Let's talk about those Solo trailers that are popping up. Obviously, you have an opinion.
I do.
You were our rapper's favorite rapper
Yes, I am.
for Star Wars.
You should ask your favorite rapper. So, Star Wars Solo is coming out on May 25th. I have tickets to go see it at a special event where I'm going to get a free thing. I don't know what it is, but I know I need it. So, I will be going to that. I spent $23 per ticket to go to a movie, which I feel like an idiot, but
No, you don't.
no, not at all. I'm very
No,
excited.
no,
I'm very excited. So if any of you happen to be at AMC Pacific Place on the day it comes out at that special event, feel free to guess what I look like. Maybe just say hi to every person that you see and ask if they're me.
Okay.
If I see someone doing that, I'm not going to reveal myself. I'm just going to watch.
Are you Ian? Are you Ian? Are you Ian? Are you Ian?
So, so the Han Solo movie was announced as like in production way back in 2015 or maybe the very beginning of 2016, right after The Force Awakens came out. It was like, I feel like they did it to like ease the pain of what they did to Han in Force Awakens, which was kill him.
Yeah.
And I was like, and when it first came out, I was like, do we really need a Han Solo movie? Like, sometimes you have a character and they have a backstory and you don't need to know it. Usually a lot of times not knowing it kind of makes their character archetype
Yeah, but
better.
I mean,
I'm stating
he's
just
got
like,
a son.
Yeah.
That is a key character right now.
Yeah,
with
agreed.
another key character.
yeah.
So I feel like there's enough there.
Yeah, no, I've definitely come around. When it first came out, I was like, man, there's so many other things I want them to do, but I've definitely gotten more and more excited, and I don't think it's just me convincing myself that it's going to be good. Like, I've really gotten into the cast. We'll talk about that. The trailers look amazing, and so just in addition to that, and then the team behind the movie, I think it's going to be really great.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So you're going on 20th. I'm not, and that's unfortunate. But I'm going out of town.
I
with
bought
my
you a
wife.
ticket, but
yeah.
you couldn't come.
Yeah. But we will be seeing. What are we seeing? What did you buy? What movie are we going to see? You told me today.
Oh, we're going to go see Deadpool on Thursday.
Deadpool.
Yeah, so
Okay,
we'll
but-
definitely be able
so
to talk
I will.
about that.
I enjoy movies with you soon.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for Solo. The only thing I'm not super ecstatic about is I think just Solo as a title.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
It looks like a comic, like it's Star Wars comic, which is fine
Yeah.
if it was a Star Wars comic. But as a movie,
Oh, a comic, yeah.
yeah, no, that's what it looks like the Solo
Yeah.
comics.
It looks a little
that's
too
what
Photoshoppy too.
Yeah.
I don't like the graphics.
I don't like it.
And it's
But-
funny is like they like revealed it in like in a tweet, and it was like Ron Howard. He's like, "Can we reveal the title?" And it was like, and then he showed it was Solo. It's just like, really? Like that's just what everyone called
Big
it anyway.
reveal.
Yeah.
There's a Solo movie coming.
Everyone knew
Here's
it was gonna be
the
called
Solo
that.
movie. But yeah, no. All right, so let's talk about it a little bit. You mentioned you wanted to run through the cast a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's start with Solo himself.
Yeah, so Alden Ehrenreich is playing Han Solo, and I do not envy this kid. He is taking over one of the most beloved characters in film history.
Yeah.
And taking the role from one of the best actors in film history, Harrison Ford.
And Harrison Ford's still alive, still has his earring,
Yep.
still like does pretty much all his own stunts at
Talks like this.
93 years
Yeah.
old. So he'll be critiquing that man and probably giving him shit too.
Not Harrison could not give two fucks about nerds.
No.
People will ask him. There's this one video you gotta find it on YouTube where it was like, so he was at a panel and some nerd asked him a question. They were taking questions and he was like, "What would Indiana Jones say to Han Solo?" And Harrison Ford just looked like, "Do I seriously have to answer this?" He's like, holds his hand up like, "What the fuck?" There was one time they brought him jokingly to a convention in handcuffs because he doesn't like doing that stuff. He just does his job. So, but he was just he kind of shrugged his head and exasperated I don't know.
Hi.
No, that's what he said. He said, "Hi?
Really?
How are you?"
I love that.
Another time, a funny Star Wars story. Pat, our friend, and I, we went to a convention in Anaheim, and we went to a Billy D. Williams panel. Billy D. Williams is the actor who played Lando, and he's old, and he's kind of not. His brain's a little old too, and he's not all there.
He's got an old brain.
Yeah,
he
kind of talks like this, and he doesn't really. He's not very quippy, and anyway, and just like all the other actors, even though Star Wars is extremely important to me, it's not always going to be the most important thing to those actors. They probably want to do other things, and they're not thinking about what Lando's backstory is.
I mean, he hasn't had anything to do with the film.
That's actually not true. He actually does
the
the voice for Lando in the Rebels show, which aired from 2015 to this year.
Oh, okay.
He did the voice for Lando.
Backing away, never
And so he did these Colt 45 commercials back in the 70s.
Really?
Yeah, and there was the way the commercial goes, it's there are 3 rules of Colt 45. It's the first one's never share your Colt or something like that. It's first no, he's there are this is what it is. He goes there are 3 rules for being smooth or something like that. And the first one's first is have a Colt 45. Second is forget the other rules or something like that. And so some guy at the convention's what is the 3rd rule of being smooth? and it's just what? He had no idea what he was talking about. Forgot that he was in a fucking commercial 40 years ago.
50 years
yeah.
ago.
And the panel host who did the voice for Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars is this is why we vet these questions. Moving on. So anyway, so yeah, Alden Ehrenreich replacing Harrison Ford. Gonna be challenging. There have been some rumors that have come out from people who are connected to the production that said he had to get acting lessons. So some people are freaking out, or acting tutoring or whatever. Look, I'm not gonna. I think that's probably.
That's interesting.
I don't think it's teaching him how to act. Period. I think it's probably trying to help him have Han mannerisms.
Polish his Han.
Yeah, polish his Han exactly. Yeah. And so, I mean, I hope he makes it his own as well. You don't hire someone based on their best Harrison Ford impression.
Well, what do you think so far in the trailers?
I think he looks great.
There's been a few of them out there.
I think he looks great. He's a good actor. I like that he's got that kind of Han smugginess. You see glimpses of it that he has. The character is.
Yeah.
So the character in The New Hope is supposed to be 30, and so this one looks like he's 24, 25, and you can see the smug arrogance that he has in those movies as a budding personality trait in young Han. But I like I want to be a pilot, best in the galaxy.
Yeah.
That kind of wide-eyed idealism that he obviously loses. And so if you're looking at my bookshelf, you can see. So we're in my office right now, and I've got my Star Wars. I'll share it at some point. So you see right there, it says Star Wars. Got a picture of Han. That's the 3rd book in the Han Solo trilogy, which is his backstory in the old canon.
Okay.
That was redacted by Disney. And it's the same way. He wants to. It's pretty much the same story. Same story beats, I would say. I doubt it's a shot for shot reenactment, but that's basically it. He wants to be a pilot, and then a bunch of shitty things happen to him, and he gets betrayed. This is my prediction for what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you the plot.
He meets Chewie.
Yeah, here's my prediction for the plot of this movie. Han wants to get into the smuggling, flying business. He joins a group. He gets betrayed by Emilia Clarke's character. So back to the cast, the girl who plays Daenerys in Game of Thrones is what looks like the love interest. She's going to betray him at some point, and he's going to swear off relationships, and then that will Yeah, and then that's going to play into the original trilogy and how Leia speaks and how he falls in love with Leia. That's what's going to happen in that movie.
Predictions.
And then obviously things like the Kessel Run and all that. So, I like it. I do. What did you think about the trailers?
Pretty much the same thing. You can totally tell that they're definitely trying to make this younger Han Solo bud into that smugginess that you were talking about, and you could tell from the trailers that he's a little bit more not confident, but he has got that, like, what would you say, wide-eyed idealism. You can see that, and then you definitely see in A New Hope that he's just more in the cantina kind of guy.
Right.
So I'm excited for it. I think it's a good choice. I think from the quick scenes we've seen from the trailers, that I think that was the right choice. For Han, which is very obviously important. The name of the movie is.
Well, I'm really glad they took a relative. Like, he was in big movies. He was in that Coen Brothers film, but he's not. It's not. They didn't choose Nick Jonas, for example. Like someone, or like Zac Efron. Like, that would have been weird if they had chosen like a really A-list guy.
Yeah, no, and that's pretty much what Star Wars has done for their main characters.
Except for Harrison Ford.
No, he was pretty much a no name.
Oh, hang on, when did
he was a carpenter?
Yeah,
and it was discovered.
So what came out first, Raiders or Star Wars?
I think Star Wars didn't it?
Let's find out.
Raiders, I think.
I'm sure some listeners screaming at his phone right now.
No, I think Raiders are early 80s. I'm nearly positive. I want to say 81.
You're right, 81.
Yeah. Well, for all our fans out there, Ian is our rapper's favorite rapper for Star Wars. My favorite movie of all time is Last Crusade. So
Last Crusade, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Definitely. And I love the Indiana Jones series. I had all the Legos growing up, which actually wasn't Indiana Jones, but it was Indiana Jones.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I love that, and that has a close relationship to Lucasfilm.
Totally.
It is Lucasfilm, and close relationship to Lucasfilm.
Did you know, I actually never verified this, but a coworker of mine told me this, and if it's true, it's pretty cool. Did you know that Spielberg and Lucas swapped like a very small vested interest in each other's movies? That Spielberg got like 1% or 0.5% or something really small of Star Wars, which was being sold at nothing because no one believed that it was going to work. Yeah. And then George got like whatever percent of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And obviously it's a fine movie, but it's not nearly as successful as Star Wars. And so Spielberg is just raking in that money.
Yeah, they're friends.
Yeah.
They're fine. But back to trailers. I'm excited for it. I think it's cool that Donald Glover is gonna Landau.
Dude, so I was
that
gonna
guy
say
from College Humor,
Chad Brochill.
Yeah, and Bro Rape.
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's another guy from Bro Rape. Why'd you call the cops? That's
the guy from that's Josh Gad, right?
No, that is
he's from Saturday Night Live.
No, it's not Josh Gad. It is SNL.
He's got the big ass eyes.
Yeah. I feel like an asshole right now. He hasn't been on SNL this year, so it's not on the top.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Anyway, everyone else knows, and now we sound like idiots. Anyway, it's crazy to see both those guys, but Donald Glover being Childish Gambino in music.
Awesome rapper.
Yeah, awesome rapper and music producer and actor and comedian. And now he's in fucking Star Wars, and he's playing Landau.
And that's perfect casting.
Yeah, perfect. I couldn't think of a better.
That one scene, everything you hear about me is true. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that scene looks like it's gonna be great.
And
I've never been more excited for a scene where people are just sitting at a table in my life.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so
in your life
because that's the scene. Like, again, prediction. That's the scene where Han wins the Millennium Falcon. Actually, no, I take that back because you see in the trailer that looks like when he first meets Lando, and then obviously later in the trailer he's saying you might want to buckle up, baby. So he obviously still owns the Falcon at that point. So
maybe he's flying it for him.
Maybe.
But I don't think Lando ever flew.
No, Lando could fly.
He can fly? Oh.
He led the assault against the second Death Star. He was Gold Leader.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Him and
my bad.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
So
in Greek.
Yeah, just a couple other people from the movie who are in it. Woody Harrelson looks like he's going to be the mentor figure for Han. His name is
reprising his
Beckett.
role from Hunger Games.
Yeah, he really is. He really is. But sure, good actor. He's always good.
I love Woody Harrelson.
Always good to
He's
add
awesome.
talent for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. That was such a weird. I never read the Hunger Games books, so like I didn't have like any attachment to that character. But I thought he was a very weird character. That whole show or movie is such a. It's just a trippy movie.
It was the 5 years of dystopian.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to read dystopian novels and shit.
Yeah, it's true.
Maze Runner,
Very
which
good
is
point.
a dumbed down version of fucking
Yeah.
Hunger Games, pretty much, and it was horrible. Yeah. But Hunger Games, I read the books. I loved it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you need to kind of read the books a little bit to understand that character.
I like that it's based in the future, so it's like futuristic technology, but it's also very primal.
Yeah.
I would like to have learned more about like the struggle between the resistance and the capital. I think they could have done a better job with that. I felt like it was the scope of the films were too character focused, and like it was like, oh, who's Katniss gonna get with? But there was like this like crazy political setup that like I wanted to see more of.
No, the books are
Like
actually
that one scene where they're
fantastic.
sending the bombs to the base, and I think
Yeah.
is that the scene where they're trying to save
That's
blonde
District
guy?
13, I think, like that.
Yeah, that was the best part of the whole trilogy. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
which was like a former district
Yeah, and
that did rebel,
And they're having
then
that Skype chat
Yeah.
between
Skype chat.
the evil Obi-Wan Kenobi, the president.
I mean, President Snow,
Yeah,
Donald Sutherland.
know nothing, Jon Snow. Anyway, so hashtag Hunger Games. Tell us
Well,
what-
actually, we're gonna talk
tell us
about
what
Hunger
you
Games
think.
a little bit later.
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
that was actually a good thing to mention.
yeah. So Woody Harrelson is in it.
Thandie Newton,
Danny, yeah,
one of the
she's Westworld.
I always remember her from Mission Impossible.
Oh,
2,
cool, nice.
Because I was going through puberty pretty much at that time, and
She was a Stone Cold
yeah,
Fox at the time.
It was Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah.
Go ahead and crack your LaCroix.
I'm gonna crack a LaCroix for this conversation.
Yeah.
Let's hear about this.
So, Catherine Zeta-Jones in Mask of Zorro, and
Love that movie.
That was pretty much when my balls dropped.
Yeah.
Thandie Newton in Mission Impossible 2 is when I started growing hair.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tim, I earned.
Get your head out of the gutter, sir.
Yeah. So, yeah. So she's in it. That's a bit. That's,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
another IMDb list.
Have you seen Westworld?
I have not seen.
I haven't
Westworld.
either. I'm sure everyone's yelling.
interested.
Yeah, it seems cool. I don't think I'll be a week-to-week guy with this show. I think I'll wait for a couple seasons to come out.
Yeah.
And then...
And that's kind of like how I.
That's what I did with Game of Thrones, too. I didn't start watching until the 4th season.
I haven't watched Game of Thrones. I'm an idiot. I'm gonna
No,
go.
what we're going to do, we're
I
going
haven't
to
read
make it
or
a segment
watched.
on this show. Is Aaron's going to go through Game of Thrones, and I'm going to be his counsel, like his psychiatrist. Like, how could they do this to this person? I'll be like, yeah. How does that make you feel?
Yeah.
Because that's how the show works.
pretty much why. I mean, I started watching it about 3 years ago
Yeah.
on a plane, episode 1.
Yeah.
And Peter Dinklage is
Pete
getting
Dink.
a blowjob,
Yeah.
drinking out of a goblet with
Yeah.
2 naked women.
It's good.
And I'm on a plane with my 17-inch screen laptop.
Yeah.
And I'm on a plane, aisle seat, and right when that happens, I'm like, oh fuck,
Dude.
I can't watch this on a plane.
This happened to me. I
and I haven't watched it since.
I was on a plane where the screens are in the back of the heads of the seat in front of you, and I'm watching Silicon Valley, and they're going to go talk to like their venture capitalist.
Yeah.
He's like this like eccentric. He's like Paul Allen. He looks.
Yeah.
It's a joke off of Paul Allen.
I love Silicon Valley.
Okay, so-
they brought it back.
the guy who they hired on as the CEO. So he actually wasn't a VC. He was the outside hire CEO.
Yeah.
And they're going to go talk to him, and he's watching the horse inseminate
Yeah.
the other horse, and it's just like horse penis, and it's just right there, and I'm like, oh, this is awkward, and I'm
17
sitting there like,
inches of horse.
yeah,
penis.
and it's like 45 seconds, and I'm like, sorry, and it's like 45 seconds, and I'm like, is this gonna end? like, someone's gonna see this.
Someone just looking over is like, that man's watching horse penis.
Another crazy airline story. This one point, when I was flying back from Utah a couple of months ago, the woman in front of me was reading erotic literature. What are those called? Erotic novels.
Sure. Yeah.
And I was just like,
Mom porn.
how do I know like what she was reading? Is because she was reading it on a Kindle or an iPad and it was lit up, and so I just like somehow saw like penis in like the text, and I started being like, what are you reading? And I read it with her. I just like looked over her shoulder, and I was just like,
Can I have a blanket, please?
yeah. Oh man.
Hercules is really strong, I guess. He's got wonderful washboard abs.
Okay, so we were talking about Solo.
Yes, that's actually what we were talking about.
Okay, ask me something else.
TBD. So, ask you something else.
Oh, let's finish the cast. So let's just get through it. So, Daenerys Targaryen is the love interest, Donald Glover, and that's pretty much it. There's
no one else in the movie.
The guy who plays Vision in Avengers looks like he's going to be the antagonist. Although predictions, Jabba the Hutt will be in this movie, in my opinion. Also, Boba Fett.
I see that.
Boba Fett better be in this movie. If he's not, I don't want a Boba Fett movie. Talk about a character who doesn't need another backstory. Obviously, we see him as a child, but Boba Fett should never take off his helmet. I don't want to know what Boba Fett's emotions are. Boba Fett is a silent killer, and I want him
incredibly hard in Shadows of the
N64.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh my god. So hard.
So don't ever make a Solo movie. Don't ever make a Boba Fett movie. I know you tried, and then it got scrapped. Disney, don't do it. No one wants to see that. So put him in this movie. It's part of Han's story. Put it in this movie. So yeah, that's the cast. If I'm forgetting anyone significant,
our apologies. Come at us at Twitter,
tweet
please.
At us. Yes, we'll get into a explicit Twitter war with you.
All right. So what? You made a note here. Quickly summarize past controversy. What are you talking about? What controversies there are in Solo?
So basically the original directors for the Solo film were Phil Lord and Miller. I forget his first name. And they are the directors of 21 Jump Street and Lego Batman. And so they were comedy directors. And that's worked before. The Russo brothers, who did Community, they did what's it called? Arrested Development.
Yeah.
They direct all the Captain America and Avengers movies. And they've been great. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And so it works. You can put in comedy. And we've seen it with actors, too, like Steve Carell. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely doable. But from the rumors behind that we've heard from the production, they really they would have basic story beats, and then they would let characters and actors improv out scenes. And it ended up, I think, from what I understand, tone-wise and story-wise, it was going against what the executive team wanted. And so there was significant creative differences. The writer of the script is Lawrence Kasdan. Lawrence Kasdan has a little bit of clout when it comes to Star Wars. He wrote this movie called Return of the Jedi. And he wrote the screenplay. No, he did the screenplay for Return of the Jedi and Empire. So this dude knows Star Wars. And he has a particular affinity to Solo. So he really wanted this to be like his final film that he worked on, period, before retiring, because he's obviously old. And he worked on it with his son. And so there was creative differences with him and then the directors. And so they had to go. So they fired him. Or they quit, whatever.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy is the president of Lucasfilm. She's a protege of Lucas. And so people were giving her a lot of flack for having, I guess, like a bad track record with firing directors. Anyway, so that's and then like people freaking out, and I think overreacting about the Han thing, the Han acting thing.
Yeah.
That's the controversy. So now Ron Howard is the director, and Ron is an amazing director, and he got put on the film. Either they were fired or he was hired the day that we were on the bus coming back from Portland from your bachelor party.
Bachelor party.
Yeah, and I was sitting there like, Ron Howard. But it's a safe pick. It was them hiring him. And it's a safe pick. He's a Lucasfilm homer. Like, he's worked with Lucas before.
Yeah.
He's made a bunch of really good movies.
Yeah.
Couple stinkers.
Ron Howard's awesome. He's a good guy.
Yeah. And so
his brother's going to be in this film. He also did Apollo 13.
That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, all-time
great.
Great.
Fantastic movie.
One thing that didn't work out based on this whole upheaval was they had to do a lot of reshoots, which all films do reshoots. It's just all big budget films, will always reshoot.
Well, it's a huge investment.
But there was massive reshoots this time around because of all the changes that had to be made. And so if you watched The Wire, if you're a fan of The Wire, are you?
Yeah, I've watched The Wire.
So you know Omar, the
10
black
years.
Okay, so Omar was a character in this film.
Really?
Yeah, but they had to replace him because his schedule didn't line up for the reshoots. They had to. That's where the guy who plays Vision.
Quit that other job.
Yeah, and be in Star Wars.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he'll be in it again. So that was that, and so that was kind of a bummer. But I think honestly, with Ron at the helm, I think that we're going to be in a really good place. And then working with Lawrence Kasdan, I just like, for reasons for you to be excited about this film, that's it right there. I think that's number one. Number two,
Number one for me is it's a Star Wars movie.
of course.
So
But, yeah, written by Lawrence Kasdan.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And because Lucas was a visionary. He wrote the original. He didn't write the other two. And
Yeah.
almost everyone says Empire's the best, and he didn't do that.
yeah, Empire's probably the best one. in my
Anyway,
opinion, but
so
yeah.
yeah, I'm really excited.
Cool. Me too. Well, what I'm excited to do, and you were saying, as we shift gears a little bit, we'll end Star Wars.
Okay, actually, we're gonna end it like this.